In this video, we're gonna try to survive as long as we can on the game mode Magic Monkeys only, and we did this once before, and just like last time with the support and primary categories, we are replaying the same challenge due to some major game updates that should drastically change the outcome. We replayed support only due to the beast handler being added, and then we replayed primary only due to the buff that the glaive dominus now gives to all primary towers and paragons. And the reason for doing magic only again is of course because of the wizard paragon. And not only that, in the same update we also got a buff to the ninja paragon. It now acts as a permanent grand sabo, and to be clear, it already gave the slowdown effect permanently, but it did not cause the Moabs to spawn with 25% less HP. But now that it does that, we have 100% uptime on that debuff, and also, the ninja now gives camo detection to all towers on the map. All this should result in us being able to reach a higher round, and to remind you, last time we made it to round 258. Just like last time, we will use Cecily as our hero. The start of the game will consist of getting some rubber to gold alks and starting to build an army of middle path druids, which will be our method of farming. At the same time, we will be placing down some ninjas and wizards, as they will be our main DPS for the early game until they both have 16.2 million pops for the creation of the paragons. The Spirit of the Forest does not only make more money from the ability than the tier 4, but also has a passive 1k income at the end of each round, so we will get this tower pretty early. Farming with druids like this is by far the most painful way of farming that exists in the game. The amount of times you need to click the ability button is insane and actually hurts your fingers. Last time you asked me why I didn't just use a macro to auto-click the ability button for me. And the reason is, well, I'm a gamer and I'm here to press buttons. And it's important to have strong, long endurance fingers for, you know, rock climbing maybe? Just like last time, we want to fill the whole map with druids, and that will take quite a few rounds, so we will need to upgrade our defense as we grow our farm. Perhaps the most important part of our defense will be the shinobi army and our tier 5 ninjas. Paired with a permabrew, they will defend for a very long time for the relatively small price that they cost. For the next hour or so, we will just be spamming abilities while we continue building our farm until we eventually cover the whole map, and then we continue to farm a little bit longer until we need some more defense. At that point, on round 176, we get the Ninja Paragon close to the center of the map, and then we rebuild parts of the farm that we needed to clear in order to fit all the sacrifices. With the Ninja Paragon, we have enough defense for a while longer, so we begin the save up for the Wizard Paragon. In this challenge, I will not use the Wizard bug that currently exists in the game that causes it to have a permanent morph ability. And this is because we may want to redo this challenge again in the future, and it would be pretty boring if we already created an unbeatable run using a bug. On round 194, we get our second and final Paragon. And then we just continue to farm so we can finish the rest of our setup. Past round 200 it gets a lot harder very fast, since now we get fortified bads and they will also be a lot faster. So even though we got the Wizard Paragon, we will soon need some more defense once again. And that's why we built the True Sun God just to the left of the Paragons. Although this tower won't be very strong as it only has the magic sacrifices, and that's why we also placed down the Legend of the Night. With these towers as some extra help to the Paragons, we will now attempt to survive as long as we can using this setup and farm ourselves some more money. Last time we stopped farming on round 237, but this time we pushed until round 252. And 3.5 million in the bank is what we have to work with. We begin by placing a few temples, and worth noting is that we end the round while having a Seelis totem active, and this is so we can see exactly where it will buff towers, so we can optimize our placement to buff as many towers as possible. Next we get an anti-bloon and an army of Poplust druids with all tier 5s placed together and a BMA in the small rightmost triangle. Then all tier 5 wizards and all the tier 5 ninjas with a shinobi army in the center. And also a little shinobi army in the top right with a few tier 4 top path ninjas and the total transformation alch. We will then start placing a lot of sun avatars around the whole map, and also a bunch of stronger stem alchs, since the permabrew can't reach all the towers. An unstable concoction or two in the beginning of the track can also be squeezed in. If you recall, we tested the Dark Champion versus the Sun Avatar a long time ago, and the only time where the Dark Champion beat the Sun Avatar was if there were no debuffs and if you don't have a Dora. And this is one of those times, but we only have one Dark Champion and the rest Sun Avatars. The reason for that was mostly because of money reasons. The Dark Champion is a lot more expensive, so we can't afford too many of them. And also, they won't do much if they are placed at the outer edges of the map, since they have a lot less range than the Sun Avatars, given that you crosspath them as a 204. Now there is not that much left to do, except to try to time Myceli's abilities and the Wizard Paragon's abilities to take us as far as possible. Again, last time we got around 258. There were some close calls, but we did manage to make it past round 270, and at this point bats are making it pretty far each round, so as soon as we get some bad RNG round generation, we are in some deep trouble. On round 279, that is just what happened. A really tough round came our way, and even the Legend of the Night's black hole could not save us. In case you did not catch it on the game over screen, I used over 20,000 abilities in this run, compared to almost 17,000 in the last one. All I can do is hope that someone will appreciate my tough finger workout. This was a really painful game, and I hope that it will be a while until we have to redo this Magic Monkeys only test again. I hope that all of you enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you in the next one.